You have to know your role, you have to accept it, but you have to do it at a very high level. So far in that first half, Yuskaita understood what her expectation and role was in that one.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be interesting. You already see Fever want to get down low and get the ball in Aaliyah Boston's hands.
Here's Billings, 4 on the shot clock, checks it, turns. That one rattles in and out as Conde comes up with the rebound. Conde getting the third quarter start here. Harrison. Yuskaita attacking Boston. No, shovel pass to Mabry.
Marina Mabry talked about just making sure she stays under control and attacks the offense, and that's the attack mode.
Mitchell had that stripped. Sykes going the other way. Mitchell grabbing at her face. On the bounce, Conde comes back to Sykes. In the paint, hanging, gets that to go. Conde getting the start here in the third quarter for Julie Alman. If we have an update, we will get it to you as soon as we have one. Clark from behind 3. Billings, how about the effort? And they're going to get a whistle and a foul. Marina Mabry going to pick it up, but that's effort. That is the will.
That second effort to get in there. And Billings first. The first thing is Billings, he's kind of trying to box out Billings, but Billings did a great job of just getting up.
Clark to the corner. Gets it back for Billings. Into the paint. Whistle and a foul.
Number 2, her 4th team second.
Yuskaita gets called for the foul. 4th foul.
At the line for your Fever, number 22.
Yuskaita, so Caitlin Clark will step to the free throw line. Clark is 3 of 4 on the evening. And it's that time of year again. Make sure your voice is heard for this year's WNBA All-Star Voting, presented by Ally. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now. Let them get their screens out, get the phones out, open the camera app, everybody. And you can vote for WNBA All-Star starters. You always got to give them that extra second, because you fumbling for the button. All-Star weekend in Chicago this year.
Well, Yuskaita went out with her 4th foul. So that is big when you look at Julie Alaman, also not with the team on the bench right now.
Mabry puts Toronto ahead by 2. 16 points on the ball game. Clark trying to answer, doesn't. And things getting chippy between Marina and Lexi.
Well, both of these players have an edge, and you look on the lower right-hand screen, corner of the screen, and Mabry and Lexi Hall. I like that fire, though. I think you have to have that edge. You can't be a nice player all the time. Sometimes you have to have that chip on your shoulder.
Here's Billings in the corner. That one's off the mark. Clark the rebound. Here's Hall off the window with the finish. Tied at 57. Mabry by Benley. Baseline layup. Clark attacking on the bounce to Mitchell. And Mitchell is going to head to the free throw line. She does such a good job of positioning herself.
Well, part of it is the connection and the eye contact. You can't make a backdoor cut without knowing that your player is going backdoor. And Caitlin Clark always does a good job of controlling the dribble. So you'll see control the dribble. She looks away. She saw Kelsey Mitchell start to attack. And as a backdoor cutter, once you start cutting, you have to continue to cut whether or not you get the ball. And I think that's why it works so well with those two.
And Mitchell's game thrives off of that action and that movement because she catches defenses and defenders out of the blue with it.
Well, she's so quick. When she goes backdoor, even coming off the screen, we talked about that earlier, just shoulder to shoulder, the way she comes off the screen, she doesn't allow space for the defender to come. She is a player that is hard to guard because you never know what she's going to do.
Benley able to control that pass from Mabry. 10 on the shot clock. Mabry. Foul line jumper doesn't go. Boston the rebound. 8th rebound of the ball game for Aaliyah Boston. Here she is, stretching from distance. That one looks good.
And that's a big-time shot. You saw Kelsey Mitchell telling Caitlin Clark, don't pass me the ball. Aaliyah's wide open, and AB stepped right into that shot.
10 on the shot clock here for Toronto. And Slim is down and in pain. Fortunately, been a bug and a thorn in their side.
Definitely, and one thing that Coach Brondello talked about is, hey, we have to have the next player up, and thankfully for them, when Kiki Rice went down, they had Julie Alamán, and Alamán is not on the bench, and now they got a Tima PA. So they're looking and using whichever players are available.
And Brondello, with 14 seasons of experience, obviously her playing career as well too, you never want to see a player go down. In this instance though, she has the experience of having to figure it out.
Well, Brondello, just one of those coaches in our league, and we asked her just about the injury situation. She said every coach has to deal with it to some extent, and for this season in particular, they have yet to have a game where all of the players have been available. So you see that they have the success as far as the two, Marina Mabry and Sykes, but to finally have all the players put together, it'd be great to see what the potential of this team is.
Boston 2 for 2 at the free throw line. A 5-point lead for the Fever. 6.5 to play in the third quarter. Bowie into the ball game with 6 on the shot clock here for the Tempo. Attacking. Finger roll doesn't go. Boston the rebound. Up the floor, here's Cunningham.
I think this also goes back to role players, knowing your role, and Kelsey Mitchell right on cue. Not only is it the Caitlin Clark to Mitchell, but now we get the Boston to Mitchell, and that backdoor cut just so hard to, you know it's coming, you just can't guard it.
Aaliyah Boston averages just under 3 assists a game. And we saw a beautiful one there. Cross-court pass. Here's Bowie. 4 on the shot clock. Conde. A calming shot that was needed for Toronto.
Well, you just got to see the ball go through the basket, and nice pace by the Tempo and just moving the ball.
Clark, little hesitation. Behind the back reverse layup. Isn't going to go, but she will go to the free throw line.
Number 32, Tima Boyd. First second.
Kelsey Mitchell's always in position for that backdoor cut. You stay set, and she is going to blow right by you. And just another look at it, but just so good at just going backdoor, being able to read the connection, the eye connection.
And that was with the assist brought to you by State Farm. As the Fever with a 5-point lead. Make that 6-point lead. This is also something Stephanie White talked about, is when we have the lead, we have to learn how to play with it and not allow teams back into games.
Well, there's sometimes you play not to lose instead of playing to win, and I think that's just what she meant.
And a tie up there between Mitchell, Boston, and Mabry. That's a play to win. But now look at the leadership of Temi Fagbenle, bringing the players on the Tempo together to talk.
Fagbenle and her leadership, even when she was with the Indiana Fever, that is something that they used to talk about. Her voice rings loud and people listen.
And a jump ball violation, so it'll be Fever basketball. Fagbenle Sixth year in the WNBA, but many years of experience playing overseas professionally and as well too internationally, whether it be for the national team or not.
Yeah. Her experience, her leadership, her voice, being in the right place at the right time. And, you know, we got this from Sophie as far as role players. That's what she's had to do, too. But I think she's also been able to be a good leader.
Here's Clark. Kick out Boston. Can she make it 2 in a row? That one off the mark. As Pui comes up with a loose ball rebound. Harrison. Too strong on the layup. Fever with a 5-on-4 here. Up the floor. Cunningham. Hits it. And Sandy Brondello would like a timeout. Fever kind of turning things up a notch. They're trying to figure out how to close this one out. Yes, it's only the third quarter, but you got to make winning plays.
Well, third quarter is where they struggled in the third and the fourth quarter. So to be able to come into this second half with the defensive intensity has been big. And look at that defense from Sophie Cunningham.
Mabry. Mid-range jumper goes. That's a bucket that Marina Mabry was needed. 71-64 lead here for the Fever. Mitchell. Distance.
That's what makes Kelsey Mitchell so hard to guard, because you want to go underneath the screen because she beats you going back door, and then she just stops behind the screen and knocks down a big three.
Fagbenle the seal. And they're going to get a whistle and a foul. And great news for Fever fans. Hines Allen after that hit to the face in the first half. And her and Isabel Harrison have a moment. Good to see her back on the floor. 10 on the shot clock here for Toronto. In the corner, Key. Pui, the offensive rebound. And they're going to get an offensive foul called on Tima Pui. Third foul.
Now this is big minute for Pui to be able to get in, because she's been the third kind of rotation in that point guard position.
Here's Mitchell trying to turn the corner. Clark. Mitchell gets it back. Foul line jumper. That goes. And the Fever now with a 12-point lead, their biggest of the ball game. Conde off the kick. The answer. Cunningham works off Hines Allen. Lines it up and knocks it down.
Well, to say that Sophie Cunningham is having a game right now is an understatement, because she is feeling it, knocking down shots, just the way she's knocking it down.
In the corner, the tempo not going down easy. They cut it back to 9. Cunningham with 14 on the ball game, as you mentioned. And a whistle and a foul. Free throws for the Fever.
And I love what Sophie said before the game. It just, when I get in, I have to know what my role is, and I have to be ready to shoot. But even more importantly, the confidence that her teammates have in her to knock down those shots. And early on in the season, I felt like there was some opportunity that she kind of missed just by trying to move the ball, but it's good to see her getting back into her flow.
Paris, you have an update for us on Julie Alman.
Yeah, an injury update. Julie Alman, who did not start in the second half, she is unlikely to return to this game tonight. The tempo going to really have to lean into that next woman up mentality even more here in the second half.
trail by 9 here with just over 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. So you lose Alman. You already don't have Rice and Sabali. We don't yet have an update on Sykes, but the way she reacted, you wonder if she'll be able to return. This is huge minutes for the bench for Toronto.
Definitely. You look over at the bench, 3 players available for Toronto to sub in. You got to learn how to use the minutes and use these bodies wisely.
Mitchell, even with the defender and Nurse outstretched, Kelsey Mitchell able to get that to go. 22 points. Nurse coming back. And Kia Nurse going to head to the free throw line. My correction, 25 points for Kelsey Mitchell. My iPad was slow to update catch.
Kelsey Mitchell, definitely one of those players you want to watch, and she does it so quiet. Like, it's just smooth and quiet. You don't really, like, you talk about it throughout the game, but other players are scoring in the meantime. Then you look up, it's like, oh, Kelsey Mitchell had 25. She's the leading scorer.
Now, I understand what you mean by smooth and quiet, but for people watching that might not, they're like, 25 is not smooth and quiet. It's loud, but it's smooth and quiet for Kelsey Mitchell.
Well, it's smooth and quiet because you don't really put a lot of attention. Like Sophie Cunningham knocks down the shot, the crowd goes crazy, and it's wild in here. Another backdoor cut by Kelsey, not able to connect, but that is part of her game. She just goes and is consistent every single game.
The Key, that one too strong. Up the floor. Cunningham works off Hines Allen again. That one's off the mark. Key with the rebound. Coming up on 60 seconds to play in the quarter. Nurse. A turnover there by Toronto. Cunningham. Hines Allen. Kicks it. Johnson. That's off the mark. There's Skyda and Hui. Working in the 2-player game. Hui to the basket. And team of Hui's going to head to the free throw line.
I like what I've seen from Pui in the minute that she's had. She's attacked the basket. She's been very aware on the court. Defensively, she's held her own. And she hasn't played that many games for this tempo team, but already starting to get in that flow.
This is the first one Sunday against Atlanta. Didn't score, but did have a career high on Friday in minutes. Only 4 on Sunday, but hit tonight. These are much-needed minutes and experience, and what that can do moving forward. We saw it with Julie Allman, as you mentioned, as this Toronto team continues to try to figure things out with injuries. .73 lead here for the Fever. 14 on the shot clock for Mitchell. Turn in the corner. Kicks it in the corner. Here's Hines Allen, baseline. Kick out. Cunningham. Yeah! Shot clock turned off. Mabry, 4 seconds from half. And that leaves time on the clock for the Fever. 1.3, more than enough. Johnson. And the third
high-level contributor here tonight, 17 points in 17 minutes. I just hope she's able to catch her breath before getting on the show tomorrow, guys.
I hope so. I hope I can catch my breath before I sit on my couch and watch.
I don't think Sophie's going to miss out on an opportunity. You saw at halftime, right after the buzzer, she hit that 3 out of breath, but she's still ready.
Out of the timeout, Hui off the mark from 3 for the tempo. Paris Lawson, Tamika Catchings, Megan McPeak with you on a Tuesday evening. So glad to be with you from Circle City. Here she is again. And the fans absolutely love it.
Well, she's not going to be too tired tomorrow. And I have to say, getting her feet set, coming off the screen, I don't know how you go under on Sophie Cunningham right now, the way she's shooting the ball.
Here's Harrison to answer. Off the mark, Hines Allen. Big rebound for the Fever. Raven Johnson pushing. Working with Boston. Hines Allen. Kick back. Mitchell, quick take. That one doesn't go. And a miscue there.
Marina Mabry not able to connect there, but this is all about Sophie Cunningham. It is her night. She has found ways to score from that three-point line. Moved it around the perimeter. I feel like she started on the left side and ended up on the right side. And just anytime you go under on her, especially a pure shooter like this, you've got to figure out a way to stay connected. But when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
New season high for Sophie Cunningham, up to 20 on 6 of 7 from distance. Here's Clark. Got by the defense, met by Nurse. And Clark needs just a moment.
Number 11, Kia Nurse. First, second, Kings first.
I think Caitlin drove in and hit a brick wall. Kia Nurse goes up. She's definitely not set.
Number 22,
Two moving body. That hurts.
Clark having a tough night at the free throw line.
7 for 11 right now. Good little make. Just got to get your rhythm. She just got back in the game, so trying to get her feet underneath her.
Here's Nurse. And a whistle and a foul on Boston. A little too much in the personal space there.
I think Aaliyah Boston had that foul intentionally, just to kind of slow things down a bit.
Yushkaida. A miscue there with Mabry. Mabry, though, keeps it alive for Toronto. And Yushkaida attacking. Misses that one as Boston comes up with rebound number 11. Cunningham thought about it. This time attacks, kicks, extra one to Clark. Off the mark. Conde into the hands of Boston on the turnover. Clark. That one's off the mark. Harrison inside. Boston broke that plane of verticality.
That's a good play by Izzy Harrison, though, just taking her time and kind of baiting Boston into that foul.
at the line for the tempo, number 21.
And let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA National TV schedule. Tomorrow, some huge games on our doubleheader Wednesday. Chicago hosting the Liberty, Phoenix hosting Las Vegas. The Aces looking to bounce back after last night's loss to the Wings, and then Thursday on Prime, this Fever team will welcome in the Atlanta Dream. And for more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Jerson 1 for 2 at the free throw line. 89-74 lead here for the Fever. Clark works off Boston, 10 on the shot clock. And a deflection as Maria Conde not happy with it, looking to the tempo bench.
Conde not happy, but a little bit more contact with the body. Gotta keep it safe.
Seven on the shot clock. Boston back with it. Here's Clark. And they're going to get Boston on the illegal screen.
Number 7, Aaliyah Boston. First 30.
Just the third for Boston.
3 fouls all in this quarter.
Conde got it stripped by Clark. Clark now flowing up the floor. Poked away from behind by Conde, but Billings is with it. Lob inside to Boston as she lays it up and in.
Great job and great patience by the Fever.
Yuskaida's going to get called for a travel. I'm also interested, as good of a first half as Yuskaida had, they kind of went away from her in this second half here.
Well, I think Yuskaida's trying to get the open look, but also you have to look at the Fever have switched up their defense, and they are playing at a different level, and I think that plays into effect. Yuskaida had a great first half. You got to make the adjustments, and you've seen the Fever do that.
91-74 lead here. And a back up there by Nurse. Nice find by Yuskaida. And we did get a update on Alman. It is a headache. So we wish her well as Sykes as Clark got that layup to go.
Good body control by Caitlin Clark.
Here's Yuskaida going into the body of Clark, going to give her the bucket, the foul, and one more for Laura Yuskaida.
You brought it up right on cue, and Yuskaida must have heard you over here talking about why did you go away from her. But she imposed her will on this and just taking Caitlin Clark straight to the basket.
And it's only a 13-point ball game with just under 6 to play. I understand they're down players, but this is well within reach.
Well, Toronto, too, they're a team that's never going to give up, and I think that's the way that they have continued to move from this. So I think that's a big part is, yes, you want to win. You want to win the Commissioner Cup for sure, but also the money that will go to local charities.
Of course, literally every game, Tamika, is you're playing for something, and that is your charity. So even though the East team has been decided upon in the New York Liberty, these games still matter today and tomorrow for everyone involved, as there's a miscue there by the tempo. The winner in each game gets a $3,000 donation. The loser gets a $1,000 donation. Here's Clark attacking, left that short, but will go to the free throw line. And she's helped up by her teammates.
Another good attack by Clark and getting into the body. Timmy Bentley gets called for that foul. He had 3 players on her, but they were all kind of hanging behind her.
Clark gets the first, extending this lead. Knocks down both of them. Mabry. That one too strong off the window. Timpson the rebound. Clark working with Billings. Clark gets it back with 7 on the shot clock. And a whistle and a foul. And the third foul called on Conde. As Hui checks back into the ball game here. 5 minutes to play in the fourth. Mitchell. Timpson, baseline cut. Too strong on the finish. Back tap. Conde with it. Conde attacking, kept the bucket, and the foul. Maria Conde going to head to the free throw line for Toronto.
I like just the aggressiveness that Conde had and putting her head down, but you saw Caitlin Clark in front of her, nobody else behind, and that's a good drive. You got to get points, and you got to get points fast. A good drive to the basket.
Grande completes the three-point play. 95-81, 4:40 to play in the fourth. Mitchell.
Foul. Tempo, number 32. Team of 4. Team's fifth.
Kelsey Mitchell at the free throw line.
At the line, Kelsey Mitchell.
And stay tuned for the WNBA on USA postgame presented by Ford coming up next. As Mitchell gets the free throw. Sophie Cunningham back into the ball game. 20 points off the bench. A new season high. Her career high. We were trying to figure this out. Shout out to Jeff, our statistician. 36. But it is a tie in career made 6 3-pointers. Fagbenley. Hui able to keep that. Mushkaida. The runner doesn't go. Hall comes up with the rebound. Hall pushing for the Fever.
The Fever not letting up, and they are still continuing to try to get up and down the floor. That pass doesn't connect, but the Fever have not let up off the gas, and I think when you look back at just what Coach White has talked about is making sure that they keep the lead and keep going forward instead of slowing down the pace and playing to not lose games.
Under 4 minutes to go here. Mabry 3 off the mark. Fagbenley the rebound. Her shot left short. Cunningham comes up with the rebound and is fouled. And Sophie Cunningham will walk the length of the floor to the free throw line. To your point, Ketch, it's the proverbial, when you have the lead, don't let up. Put your foot on the gas and keep pushing.
We've looked at just different lineups that the Fever have played. When you look at the bench, you think Ty Harris would be, and Grace Van Slooten and Dantas may get in the game later, but I think it's really trying to get the flow and make sure that the lineup that they have, people are playing together.
Mabry takes the seat. Nurse returns. And as much as we talk about the Fever continuing to play to win rather than play the way they had been as of late, as a foul was called, Hui gets the whistle in her favor. And here's tonight's game-changing moment.
They know when to cut. They know where the ball's going to be, and they're there to receive it.
Season high 13 assists for Caitlin Clark tonight. Here's Clark from 3. She's been trying to get that one all night.
You can see the sigh of relief when she turned her head.
Hui into the body of Billings, doesn't get that to go. It sends the Fever back the other way. Clark, kick out to Johnson. Back to Clark. Sends it to Hall for the lay-in.
Make it 14 assists, and that backdoor cut just continues to eat the tempo defense.
On the shot clock here for Toronto. 2:35 to play in this fourth quarter. Hui. Clark ends up with the rebound. Now Cunningham. Over to Hall. Cunningham on the foul.